So I took 4 years of Spanish and 1 year of French, and there were feeble attempts at cultural immersion, but for the most part, it was
I know
learning the
Shakira's
language.
birthday,
There you go.
but that's not useful.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you could actually replicate this in a classroom without literally doing a study abroad, but I remember I didn't do a study abroad, but I did go to Japan for 2 weeks after my sophomore year of college, just independently with 2 friends. And one of the things I remember realizing, and it was really profound, was I had this whole perception growing up that America was the best place in the world to live. And this is what you're taught growing up in America. It's super patriotic here. And all the authority figures and parents are like, boy, aren't you glad that you live in America? Every place else in the entire world is like a communist place or a socialist place, or like there's some reason why
or like a happy place.
Yeah, everyone there is happy. Why do they want to be happy? But even like the very industrialized and wealthy nations, people in America that have not been to them, they always have something to say about like how it's so much better here, and you would never want to be anywhere else. And then I went to Japan, and I met and talked to people who were leading perfectly happy, normal lives. And now I talked to other people who have studied abroad and learned the same thing about people in Ireland and people in England and people in Africa even. And you start to realize like the human experience is a global one, and it's not like the best one ever is to be had in America.
Yeah.
There are people who have a horrible experience in America, and there are people who have an amazing experience
Uncle Sam's coming to get
in many
you.
other countries. Yeah. That doesn't mean that other countries don't have problems, but ours does as well. And I think traveling really opened my eyes and made me see things on a more global level, and made me see my place as an American citizen as more equal to everyone else's than as like in the best country in the world. And honestly, like I still feel weird about that because I think we're pressured to feel very patriotic in this country, but it made it hard to feel like I should only care about my nation just because people who lived many years before me drew some borders around them. Like, I realize there's more to it than that, but, I don't know. It was very perspective altering.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of people literally don't need to do more than go to a city in, like, the state over to get a new cultural experience.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't travel to more than maybe 4 or 5 different cities, all in the Midwest, until we moved here, and I've taken 2 road trips up to like Portland and Seattle and back now. And in Seattle and Portland, I was like, whoa, this is like, especially Seattle over with the Puget Sound and like Pike's Place Market with all the fishmongers. And I was like, this is literally like a different world. This feels like a world that should have only be in movies, but apparently it's real. It's just over here and not in Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that a lot of people just never get. They stay in their same town because travel can be expensive.
Yeah.
I can see how that's a problem, but you don't need to go very far to understand.
Well, I remember when
life can be different.
When you were in college, wasn't there some club you went to that was like foreign language and tea, and
I don't remember.
And then you went and taught refugees, and like, you could have conversations with
I taught
people,
refugees and English, and that was really cool and like world expanding as well.
Mm-hmm. And you've never been to another country.
I have not.
So, and I still think that you have gained a lot of that same perspective, maybe not in the same way, and maybe it doesn't feel the same as I've felt having been in a different country, but I certainly don't see you as the kind of person who has sort of like still has their eyes closed to that fact.
No, so you don't need to travel because I was already doing things. Teaching the refugees was literally in the city over from my university.
Yep.
It's not like I needed to go very far.
Mm-hmm.